Hey guys, Kristen Collins. Hope you're doing well. Touching back in this week first by reflecting on our conversation last week about those beginning steps for self-love. So did you take the opportunity these past 7 days to implement any of the tactics that we talked about as far as how do you step into self-love? We've spent a lot of time understanding why self-love is foundational and important, but we haven't spent a lot of time discussing how do I go about loving self and knowing self. So as a quick review, and if you didn't check it out last week, please go ahead and look at last week's YouTube video in reference to how to go ahead and step into self-love. But as a quick recap, the first step was to simply be, and committing over the next 7 days for 2 minutes at least of just sitting with self and being. The second tool that you can use is journaling your reflections, journaling your thoughts, as weird or as much as they might not make sense to you, but that goes ahead and lets us download and release those thoughts. And then the third way was to take that pause or take that deep breath before moving, before reacting, before responding, before speaking, and getting comfortable sitting in that pause and that silence in between, because it is the space in between that is where life happens. So I'd love to hear about your experience this past week. Did you commit? Did you do this more days than not? Was it an epic fail? Were there any ahas? I would love to hear your reaction if you went ahead last week and took the opportunity to step into self-love. And if you didn't, it's never too late. Why don't you consider this week going ahead and implementing one, if not all three of those tools and techniques to begin the journey into self-love. So for this week, I'm excited because I've really been digesting this concept of how can I support community? How can I hold space to support your self-discovery? What are ways, tools, and techniques? So I wanted to point out that there is a new podcast series that's launched. It's called Find the Spark Within, where I am going back and asking folks who have helped me on my walk to dive deeper into some topics or some of those mind blows. And as we talk about all the time, this is not a light switch. This isn't these easy steps and in 21 days your life will be totally transformed, right? This is a journey, and you have to commit to that journey and be open to the process. Okay, in this gratifying, Insta society that we live in, that's not how you're going to find your health, your happiness, your well-being, your self-love. It really does take a commitment to be open to the journey. So I invite you to go ahead and plug into this podcast, Find the Spark Within, to learn from folks who I learned from. And most recently, the second episode launched, and it was with Heather Christie, who is a national executive coach and speaker and has been very pivotal in a lot of the lessons that I've learned. And I was able to spend about 35 minutes chatting with Heather to dive deeper into mindset. And what were some of the lessons learned, and why is mindset so important, especially in today's society? So I invite you to check that out, Find the Spark Within. It's on all the channels that you can get a podcast. I'm also uploading the YouTube video from that recording onto this YouTube channel, just as a secondary way that people can connect with it. It's not designed to be a YouTube experience, but I figured what the heck, if you're a visual learner and you'd prefer to watch it through YouTube, you can. So please go ahead and subscribe to the page if you haven't done so already. And as always, your likes help create those algorithms and get this message out to help people who hopefully are on their journey to self-love. So thank you for that. The second thing I wanted to point out is that the upcoming episode that's going to air is actually an interview with international coaching mentor Beverly. And I went through her holistic coaching certification for 6 months and just graduated about a month ago. So the second thing I want to put into your mind and put a little bug in there is, are you surrounding yourself with people who can help you on your journey to self-love? A lot of people are very threatened by change and transformation, and it can be a very lonely journey. I know my friendship circle shifted greatly. I'm very blessed that my family was so supportive of my journey and my deep introspection and my, big look at self. But I'm asking for you to reflect on your surroundings, and are you setting yourself up with people, community, conversations that are going to support your self-love and actualization. And coaching is a phenomenal way to go ahead and be supported and have someone hold space for you. Whether you're interested in hiring a coach or whether you're interested in becoming a coach and what that benefit is, please go ahead and plug in to Find the Spark Within next week to check out the conversation with Beverly and some of the learnings that I experienced both personally and professionally by going through that certification. I love to learn. I love to open my mind up to new opportunities and ideas, and that certification really, really helped me. And then the third thing I wanted to mention to you is every week on Tuesdays at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Raw Real Talks, we host a healing edition on Instagram Live where usually it's Janet Namaste and I co-hosting and holding space. Yesterday, it was actually my beautiful stepdaughter, and she and I had a conversation about family dynamics, especially from a family that isn't the traditional, one set of parents and one set of kids. We come from quite a diverse, intermixed family now. So thank you to Megan for that dynamic conversation. You can find that conversation of how to thrive through the interesting family dynamics on Raw Real Talks Instagram. It's saved there. So every Tuesday, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard, if you're interested in your self-development and your self-actualization and your healing. Thank you, Janet, for holding space with me. I know you've got some cool opportunities coming up as well, and you'll be hosting that space the next 2 weeks with some special guests. So we invite you to plug into Raw Real Talks Healing Edition every week to help you on your journey to self-love. So I hope this information is useful and helpful. Please let me know. Please let me know other ways you are on your journey. But I am committed to sharing opportunities, sharing ideas for you to go ahead and work on your self-love if you're ready. And if you're not, the information will be here if and when you are. So as always, I appreciate our shared community and the time spent with you. Please continue to reach out, touch in, share your thoughts, feelings, because it really does fuel my journey as well. So until next time, be love.